Hey there, are you fabulous and phenomenal A4J Divas? This is your girl Jill of Jill and Trail, founder of Detour Movement Inc. And I am just so excited that you took a moment to check out our video. Today we got a juicy topic. Not too long ago we posted on Facebook asking for questions that anyone had that we would answer, and we got a boatload of questions. So if you have a question, feel free to look us up and submit your information. I'll give you our Facebook at the end. But today we had, or not too long ago, we had a question came in from, I believe it's Naya, and she was asking, and this is a good question, how do you know you are ready for courtship? Girl, if I could do a holy dance or a shout for that one, that's a good question. And that's definitely the question that you should be asking as a single woman. Am I even ready to be in a relationship, to really be out and about? And one thing I know to be true is that too often we as women, we get into relationships or we get out in the dating scene and we're not ready. We're not ready for many reasons. So I wrote down a couple of things here that I want to share with you. One is, I believe it's 6 different things. Okay, so 6 points. Spiritual foundation. So the first thing is that you need to make sure you have a spiritual foundation. What does that mean? That is beyond going to church. That is invoking the spiritual disciplines, daily prayer, daily scripture reading, daily worship, okay, and fasting periodically on a weekly basis or something like that. Having that relationship with God and being grounded, because that gives us our values and our beliefs, which really makes up the core of who we are, and so we can align ourselves with what we believe. Doesn't that make sense? All right, I hope I'm making sense with you. We're making sense to you here. Okay, so that's the first thing. Another thing you want to make sure that you're still not trying to get over your ex. Okay, if you just got out of a relationship 3 months ago, I would say you're probably not over the relationship. And it does depend on how long the relationship was. If you were sexual with the guy, I don't care how long the relationship was, I believe you're still getting over the emotional ties of the relationship. And so you have to do an assessment. Do I still think about this guy? Am I still mad at him? Am I still upset about the situation? And make an adjustment there. After a breakup, I say at least a year. Give yourself, after even a breakup, or if you were sexually involved with somebody, give it at least a year. 2 if you can. As women, we gotta learn to be okay with spending time by ourselves and not make the mistake like I did and was a serial monogamous relationships. After the relationship, we want to take some time out, breathe, think about who I am, and not lose ourselves in all these relationships. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're not already in a relationship and that you are not still married but separated and trying to get out and all that. If you're still in those situations, you're still not ready, because legally you can't even get into another relationship. Okay. The third thing is your purpose. Have you defined your purpose in life? Do you understand what God has placed you on this earth to do? Are you operating in that purpose? Okay. For me, I like to say my purpose and my passion is to help young girls understand their value and their worth as young girls, and to know if they desire to preserve their purity, how they can go about doing that. And for women, it is to help women establish non-negotiable standards and boundaries in their life, single life, date life, marriage life, so they can have extraordinary Christ-centered relationships. So, do you know that? Do you know your purpose? Do you know why you were put on this earth? Are you operating in that? So all these things need to be checked off before you're ready for courtship. Oh Lord, from 3 to 6. So from 3 to 4, peace. You have peace in your life. You have peace in your mind. You have peace in your emotional spirit. Okay? When I say that, that means how are you responding emotionally to situations? Are you getting charged up, or are you dealing with a little bit of anger? Are you dealing with frustration? Sometimes things are just out of order and you just get frustrated, or just unhappy. Not continue, feel like I'm not happy where I am right now. I'm just in a place of sadness. So got to make sure that we're not dealing with any of that yet. You are at a place of peace. Okay. The 5th thing is you have contentment. Even though you may say, okay, one day I would love to get married, but I'm content that I understand that God is enough. That, you know, the whole thing with marriage is just an add-on benefit to life, and that with my purpose and through my ministry and, you know, everything, my relationship with God, I am full. My cup is full, so full I can pour and love into others. All right. The fifth thing is that you like yourself. And I say this, and some people may be like, what? Yeah. Do you like yourself? You know, as women, because we have so many people, and a lot of times it's other women telling us how we're not this and we're not pretty enough and our hair's not that and, you know, whatever, our clothes is not this and all of this. And sometimes even our parents, we have all kind of voices, and even ourselves telling us, oh, I'm overweight, I'm this, I'm that. But stop it. As women, you got to like yourself. Before you can go out and expect some man to like you, you have to like yourself. You know, and really you need to love yourself endlessly. And I'm not talking about no arrogant, you know, boasting and thinking I'm this and thinking I'm that. Sometimes I'm going to still do. No, I'm not talking about that. We're not going to say, you know, I'm not telling you to be arrogant or to boast. But just own your space that you're in. And learn if you have different things that you don't like about yourself, if it can be corrected. You know, maybe some things can be corrected, some things can't. Or if you try to and you haven't been able to, like say if you've been struggling with your weight. Well, there's a couple of things. I'm not even going to go in that whole battle. But, you know, if you're at that weight right now, learn to love yourself at that weight. Learn to love yourself at that weight. You are not your body. You're really not. You know, your heart is really where everything lies. And you'll be surprised how men are more in tune to a woman's heart than their physical appearance. That's something that we as women are just doing amongst each other. This big competition we got. Men are really not all into it, especially some of the most wisest and desirable men. This is not. So let me just recap. So I said a lot of things there. I said, 1, you need to have a strong spiritual foundation. I said 2, you need to make sure that you're not still caught up with your ex emotionally or in a marriage or anything like that. 3, you need to make sure you understand your purpose and you're operating in that purpose that God has destined you and designed you to walk in. The 4th thing is you have a spirit of peace. You have peace in your emotions. You have peace in your mind, peace in your heart. You're not dealing with any frustration, emotional anger, unhappiness, bitterness, unforgiveness, anything like that. You have a level of contentment. That you use like, I desire this, but I'm content with me and God. I'm content with serving, you know, having that level of contentment. And then lastly, but definitely not least, you like yourself. So those are the 6 things I say that you need to check your bucket list before you are ready for courtship. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. We are going to have a lot of great stuff that's coming out. We want to make sure that you're in the know. Also, please go to your social media and share with your girlfriends, okay? Whether that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go ahead and hook them up. Share this link and tell them to go check it out. Or you can send an email to some of your girlfriends to let them know that this is a great video, that they need to get this information to make sure that we are ready for courtship. We don't want to get into a relationship prematurely and it just be a whole big mess. Nobody got time for that. I also want to let you know that we're going to be having a lot of things coming out from Trail's launch of her book that's going to be coming out on August 1st, Rolling with the Punches. There's going to be some good juicy stuff in there. And also we're going to be launching a telesummit that we're going to be hosting, and it's going to talk about how to prepare for marriage. That's what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be about a 10 to 12 week course, and we want you to make sure you get in. There's going to be a 14-page special report, all kind of juicy stuff. So be on the lookout for that. That is coming soon. We're going to be talking about the 14 attraction killers and why a guy won't marry you. And then we will get into the juicy stuff of things that we can do to prepare ourselves as women to be, if you want to say wife material, we can say that. Or, but anyway, I'm going over my time. I love you so much. I have a passion for women. I have a passion for the woman of God. I have a passion for us to live our best life, to not be abused, used, or get screwed, if I can say that, in the relationships with men, and for us to own our space and own who we are, and just to be whole in every part.